North Korea banned Mother's Day, and you won't believe why. If you thought North Korea couldn't get worse, well, you're wrong. North Korea banned Mother's Day for honestly the weirdest reason ever. They banned Mother's Day because it was distracting citizens from their love for Kim Jong-un. And Kim Jong-un didn't want his citizens to love somebody more than him. North Korea is the only country that would try to make their citizens love their leader more than their own mother. This is actually crazy, and let me know what you think about this. This is the scariest story about the eyes. There was a man named Jim who was at the store one day when a middle-aged woman tapped him on the shoulder and said, "I can't help but notice your beautiful eyes." Jim smiled and said thank you. The woman then smiled back and asked for his number, which Jim gladly gave to her. Later that night, Jim received a text message from the woman to come over. Jim said, "I'll be right there." He then got up and went over. When he got there, he knocked on the door, and the woman then answered. She then welcomed Jim into her house and said, "Follow me." Jim then followed her to her room that was pitch black. But when the woman turned on the lights, Jim stood there in fear. In the room were shelves filled with hundreds of human eyeballs. He then heard the woman say from behind him, "I really like your eyes." Jim then felt something hit the back of his head and everything went black. When Jim woke up, everything was still black. He began screaming, but then he heard the woman's voice say, "There's no need to scream. Your eyes are never coming back."
If you see this happen, you need to run fast. This is a sign that a huge tsunami wave is on its way. And the further the sea has gone out, the bigger the wave. And when you notice no water on the beach, this is your 12 to 20 minute warning to get out of there. So if you do notice a beach without water, you need to run fast. If you see this happen, you need to run fast. If you see these orange dots on a tree in the woods, you seriously need to run fast. It might just look like orange paint, but don't be fooled. This is a trap. There have been loads of reports of missing people in these types of woods. So if you see these orange markings in the woods, you need to run fast. Make sure you share this message and follow for more. If you see these orange dots on a tree in the woods, you seriously need to run fast.
Oh, buddy, this guy needs to chill out a little bit. He is definitely overreacting. This is a very old video that I got tagged in that was posted back in 2020, so I'm not too sure why this is just now popping up, but a lot of you guys wanted me to cover it. And he's making a very bold claim here that if you see these orange markings on trees, you need to get out of the woods fast because you're in danger. But the reality is, this is not dangerous at all, and actually quite common. So when you come across a tree like this, there is a very good reason behind it. In fact, there's even tree marking paint specific for this, and different colors signify a different future for every single tree. So different colors mean different things depending on where you are, but in general, orange paint typically means the tree is going to be cut down. Blue paint is sometimes used to indicate property lines, and then purple paint is the only time that you should be a little sketched out because this means no trespassing. So again, this video is definitely sensationalized, probably just to get views and engagement, and you don't really have to worry too much.
These are the scariest curses to use on people in real life, part 2. Okay, so to perform this curse, all you need is an egg and something to write with. And then write the full name of the person you want to curse on the egg. Next up, go get something to make a hole in the egg. It doesn't matter what size the hole is, just make sure not to make it too big. Now go outside and dig a little hole and bury the egg in it. And then wait for the egg to rot. The curse will then take effect in about a week or so as the egg slowly rots. Then the person that you curse will start to get sick more and more every day. The egg will take a week to rot, and so will the person that you cursed. And the person that you cursed will then die from a mysterious illness within a week.
If you ever see this message on your phone, turn off everything immediately. This is my craziest video ever. Make sure to follow and like so everybody can see this. If you ever get this message on your iPhone, you might be in some serious danger. Now, if you're seeing this message, that means your phone was compromised by hackers. These hackers can see everything you do. These hackers now have full control of your phone. They can see all of your text, all of your photos, and your bank information. And the worst one is, they can see through your camera. So if you ever get this, you need to reset your iPhone immediately. Make sure to share this with a friend to keep them safe.
These are scary things to do with your friends, part 3. Okay, so if you and your friends like scary videos, I recommend watching the Blank Room Soup video. This video shows a man with his eyes blacked out, crying hysterically as two men dressed in Ray Ray costumes come over and start petting him and comforting him. While it already looks extremely creepy, there's actually a more sinister backstory behind the video. The soup that the man is eating apparently has the remains of his family in it, and he is being forced to eat it as a form of torture. This video is extremely disturbing and definitely isn't for the weak, so if you want to watch it, just look up blank room soup video.
If you see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide.
Three scary facts that will keep you up at night. Right now there are 50 current serial killers that are on the loose, and some of them are still active. In 2003, the space shuttle Columbia disintegrated upon entering the Earth's atmosphere. However, it was determined that all 7 astronauts were alive for a few minutes during this disaster. And in 29 different states, it is completely legal for doctors and medical students to practice pelvic exams on patients who are under anesthesia without consent.
If you see this, run away and warn others. This caterpillar looks like a dropped wig, but don't let the hair fool you into touching it. The hair will penetrate your skin and sting you. The pain is said to be unimaginably bad. If you get stung, use soap and water to wash the area. But be careful not to press too hard on the spot. It could make the poison travel further. After washing, put ice on the spot. If the pain doesn't go away within 30 minutes, go to the hospital immediately. Stay safe.
These are pictures of extremely disturbing things, part 3. Up first is this picture. This is a series of self-portraits drawn by an artist who ended up getting dementia later on in his life. The way in which he forgets how he looks is extremely disturbing, but he even forgets how to draw entirely, which is just haunting. Next up is a picture of what appears to be just some sort of clown suit, but this is way more disturbing than you think. This is actually the clown suit serial killer John Wayne Gacy wore when he lured little boys pretending to be a clown. This is such an innocent picture without context, but with it, it's just something sinister. Finally is this picture. This one man came back to his car, only to find a note that said, "You were so easy to find, Mark. You should drive more carefully." I don't know what I would do if I was him, but I would be absolutely terrified. I'll most likely move away and start a new life. These are the creepiest things found in people's houses, part 1. Up first, a married couple moved into a new house when they decided to rip up the carpet and get a new one. But what they found underneath the carpet is absolutely terrifying. Underneath the carpet was a pentagram, which is a symbol of the devil and devil worshippers. This is extremely scary because the previous homeowners were definitely doing satanic rituals. Next up, a homeowner decided to move a mirror in his house when he discovered a camera behind it. There was a specific hole cut in the wall for the camera to fit, making you think whoever put it there did it to spy on the people living in the house. This is so chilling and disturbing, I would immediately move out.
If this happens to you, you need to run fast. If you hear these sirens make this sound, you need to seriously run fast. These are air raid sirens, and when they go off, you know something bad is about to happen. This is your warning to get to shelter and hide to stay safe, because whatever is about to happen could be extremely dangerous. So if you hear these sirens, you need to run fast.
This is a scary theory about cancer. Everybody knows what cancer is, and a lot of people have been affected by it in one way or another. It is also the second leading cause of death in the United States. But there is something that the majority of people believe. They believe that the United States government has found a cure for cancer, and that they found it many years ago, and they will never release it to the public because they want to keep making money off dying patients. And if they release it, they will lose billions of dollars. This actually makes sense, and if it is true, this is really messed up. Creepy facts that will give 99% of you chills, part 7. Wearing earbuds or headphones for just an hour will increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times. So next time you're just relaxing, listening to music, just know 700 times more bacteria is forming in your ear as you listen to that song. If you drop your food on the ground and go by the 5-second rule, minor insects will still crawl on your food after you drop it on the floor and eat some of it before you even pick it up. In the event of a water landing, flight attendants are specifically required not to allow dead bodies on the rafts, so there is no saving your dead parents, children, or spouse for burial. Everybody knows what a chainsaw is and what it is used for. But do you know chainsaws were originally made for childbirth? This is super terrifying and disturbing. This is the scariest story about the high beams. A woman was driving down a highway one night when she noticed a pair of headlights approaching her car very quickly. The car then passed her off and then suddenly swerved right back behind her. She got extremely nervous and kept an eye on the car behind her. The car then pulled up to her bumper to bumper and began flashing their high beams. The car continued to follow her very closely and kept flashing their high beams on and off. The frightened girl struggled to keep her eyes on the road because she couldn't stop looking at the car behind her. Finally, the woman approached her exit, but the car still followed her and continued to flash their high beams on and off. The girl then took out her phone and dialed 911. She then told them that a car was following her, flashing their high beams. The woman gave her address, and within a few minutes, she saw the red and blue lights in the distance. She let out a sign of relief as she pulled into her driveway, but suddenly the strange car also pulled into her driveway and began blinking its lights like a maniac. The police car then screeched to a halt, and 2 officers jumped out with their guns drawn. They then pulled the man out of the car, and they then handcuffed him. But the handcuffed man began screaming, "There's somebody in your car! There's somebody in your car!" The 2 police officers then pointed their guns in the direction of the girl and fired. The woman screamed, but when she turned around, she saw the bloody corpse of a murderer fall out of her back seat. There was a large butcher knife still gripped in his dead cold hand. The police searched her back seat and found duct tape, a blindfold, and a pair of handcuffs. The woman then realized that the man in the strange car was actually trying to save her. When the police released him, he explained that as he pulled up behind her car, he saw a man with a butcher knife raising it up behind her. And just as the madman was about to stab her, he flashed his high beams and the figure crouched back underneath the seat. He said he flashed his high beams every time he saw the man raise the knife.
If you see these J-shaped trees, you need to run away as fast as you can. This is actually a big danger sign. If trees go like this, that look like the letter J, this is a massive sign that a landslide could happen at any moment, as trees go to this shape before they actually cause the landslide. As you can see, it's all over the news, and it's the biggest warning of a landslide happening. So if you see these trees, get away as fast as you can, and follow me to stay safe.
Disturbing facts that are guaranteed to freak you out. The United States military has lost at least 3 nuclear bombs, meaning that there are 3 nuclear bombs that have never been found. In Cameroon in 1986, a potential landslide produced a huge cloud of carbon dioxide to emit from a lake, and that cloud of CO2 ended up killing 1,700 people in their sleep. And lastly, this one is super gross, but it is possible for a human being to become so constipated that they begin throwing up feces.
If you ever see this on the ground, fucking run! And I can't tell you this enough, do not pick it up. Because what's on the other side of this coin will freak you out so much you'll sign your own obituary. Because plot twist, it isn't a coin, it's a... This is an hourglass trapdoor spider. And to make this sick joke by nature even worse, they're known to be aggressive. So if you try to pick up the coin, it probably won't respond well. Found in Japan, Africa, South America, and North America, along with a load of other warm places, they like the warmer climates as it reminds them of their previous residence in the deepest, darkest parts of hell. On top of that, we don't know everything about them, so my suggestion, run! Now share this with anyone you care about so that they know to stay away. Elon!